Okay, we're here again. My name is Arshagra, and this is In Conversations With. Basically, it was a brainchild that was born this morning and then developed. Actually, I bounced it off of Debbie. We're at the National Beat Poetry Festival 2023, and we're here with some of the poets that have come from around the country. And I don't know if anyone's international this year, but I think so. Anyway, it's a brilliant little event that happens once a year in the northwest corner of Connecticut, and that's where I live. And so I asked Ron, would you be the first one that I could interview with an open-ended conversation? Anything you want to talk about. We could just say, Ron started with a poem. I pulled two words out of the poem, and I said, what about love and something else, another word. And bam, he went on, and then I asked him a question in the middle about death, and then he went on for another 15, 20 minutes or whatever, and we wrapped up by threading the needle, and that's what happened. Before that, Chris Van Oy is in on this whole thing, and I'm just making a podcast about the minds and the visions and the insights of who are we here and now in the passage of time. I'm a fan of benevolence, so we're not going to be arguing or blaming the world. Why
not?
So if you want to bring the devil into it, it's like that's cool. But I think the two of them should just kiss and make up or whatever's going on in that story. Because
they should confess.
Yeah,
just confess.
Yeah, the two of them should both say the story.
Say you're sorry.
Yeah, say you're sorry. Get some beer to drink. Anyway, it's all good. So it's that's how relaxed this is. So this conversation is about to start with whatever happens next from any of our mouths. Ready, set, go.
All right. Well, okay. I'm not ready to start a conversation. What are we doing?
Oh, yeah, I like it.
You gotta ask me.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay. I'm ready. No, I'm ready. I'm ready. Are you ready for the first question?
Let's do it.
What are we doing here? Oh,
you know.
Without knowing it.
Opening the conversation.
Yeah.
Well, let's open the end and say, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So what is life? What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? What happens when we're gone?
I think we're here to share our thoughts with all these other incredible artists and people.
Okay.
And when we share those things to others, we inspire them to open up and be themselves. They are meant to do.
Why are we here?
I heard they have good pizza.
They have good pizza. Okay. Why?
But they had cheese on it though, so that was a little bit of a difficulty. We had to pull the cheese off.
So the fact that we domesticated life forms to bring this into a shallow kind of calm thing, do you think we're enslaving other life forms? See, poets do weird things. We are weird. We are wonderfully weird. We have the weirdest job and the most important job in the world is to go where we need to make mirrors where there are none. Sometimes we need to shine lights where everything seems permanently dark. Yes.
I think that as a species of animal, I think it's in our nature. If you look at history, and this I'm being serious now. It's in our nature to enslave whatever's next to us.
Oh.
We enslave other people. We enslave animals. We enslave the environment. We enslave anything that will allow us to. That's
we as
why.
A species, malevolent. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's good.
And benevolence. I'm on a benevolence kick.
Instead of malevolent.
Yes. So what you just said, it's a malevolent reality.
It is.
But do you want to know what I think about reality? Yeah.
It's not real.
I'm the dream.
Here's my thoughts on reality. I believe that every person has his own reality or her own reality.
Okay.
The world that you're in right now is not the world that I'm in. I'm looking at you.
Oh,
you're looking at me.
Yeah.
We're thinking about what we're going to say next. We're thinking about what's happening we're looking out the window. You're seeing something totally
Oh, yeah.
different than
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
seeing. I'm seeing a little black car. Are you seeing?
We are
in a different
yeah.
world.
We are brothers and sisters of hallucination.
Well,
Oh!
and there's a point where we can share that.
There you
There's
go.
an intersection
That was it.
somewhere.
There you go.
And
You
that's it. That's the physical intersection.
Okay.
And we have a mental and spiritual
There you go.
connection as well. As I look around here, I see Buddha everywhere I look. And what does he say? He says, you peel back the onion and there's nothing there. And that's this part of it, the outside. Another thing, and is that I don't believe that there's an inside and an outside of
Ooh,
a person.
go.
I don't think that there's a dividing line. I think that this is just a vessel. Not even, because if you look at the atoms in the atomic structure of the human body, there's more air in it than there is solidity.
Yes.
So
And vastness and emptiness.
if you got a small enough needle, you could push it right through yourself and you'd never feel it.
Whoa. And I was alone in the world till about a half a minute ago.
You still are, actually.
Oh yeah. So says the needle to the invisible. We got a jaw-dropping moment over here.
Yeah.
And this is an intelligent woman, actually. No, she made it down through kindergarten. You made it first grade.
Sheila is the smartest person I've ever met.
And
I don't know, we just got to get her turned on and that's the end.
Okay, go. Turn her on.
Sometimes I'm smart enough
Has
to
he
keep
ever
my
turned you on?
Sometimes I'm smart enough to keep my mouth shut and listen.
Oh.
'Cause
I just did that with Ron.
You know what I think? I think enslaved might be it's a weighted word,
It
but I
is.
think that we mutually share energies and can be beneficial to each other and help each other grow, and from the tiniest microcosm to the macrocosm,
Nano.
you know,
Things are getting
everything
nano.
that it is. There's a synergy, and it may sound really far out, but we're one.
We're one. It's that
We're
simple.
one. And
I've been getting into this now. It might even be a theme in this whole thing. Since I'm in the conversation, sort of according to the title, benevolence is it. Never mind good and evil. Never mind right and wrong. Never mind black and white. Never mind in and out. That's the first time I heard there's no way. I once went to. I'm gonna forget what I'm saying because I'm gonna go. I once went to an open mic theater workshop, and it was an open theater. It was called Dancing at Night. It had the weirdest name in the world. It was on the top floor of a dance studio in Central Square in Cambridge. And it was my turn to get up and do an open mic. But it was theater. You could do whatever you want. Everyone's sitting on the little bleachers there. And I did this thing, and then the teacher said, "You're not supposed to break the line between the stage and the audience. You're stepping inside the audience. You're going too far. They're the audience, and you're on the stage." And I said, "No." And it wasn't till that moment that he said there's no difference in inside and out. Because when he first said it, I go, what the hell is this guy's about to say? And then it was like, oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've been alone ever
Absolutely.
since.
And when you think about sharing, we started the conversation about sharing. Let's think
I'm gonna
about
blame you for everything. No,
let's think about thought.
Uh-oh. I love it.
What is thought?
Oh my God.
There's like we think about our thoughts being in our head.
Now
No.
you're talking.
Where are they in a
Now
head?
you're talking.
They don't exist.
Well, they do, but we're stuck at that radio station, 10101 up here, 1010, and it's like you got to change that dial because man, there's room out there. Our five senses, and and then there's the sixth sense.
Actually, we're trapped in our five senses.
Oh my God, are we ever?
We are trapped within those five senses.
The 3D nightmare.
y'all just have that. Go ahead.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Are you
Kumbaya,
cross-3D?
No, I love it.
Kumbaya.
So I only know one 7D guy. I know this. I'm yet to have the conversation with him. I'm going to interview. Is Josiah Longo, you know him from Slambovian Circus of Dreams?
Oh, I know that, but I don't know the person.
Oh yeah, okay. So Josiah.
I know the Slambovian.
Yeah, so Josiah is the father in the story there, and it's like when I meet him, it's like, phew, that guy's 7D. I know some 6D and some 5D people. 4D is your dreamers. You start, if you're a dreamer, you're in the 4D. Now, good and evil is a 5D, 3D war. I heard this story. I love it. Whatever I'm saying. If it's bullshit to you, it's bullshit to you. But if it's an open mind, it's an open mind. So some say
Room for
reality.
bullshit.
The 3D world is like reality. And then they say like heaven or God or Buddha, everything. That's 5D.
You don't have to go. You don't have to die to go there.
Oh,
either.
no, you don't have to die.
No.
Yes, you do. It's called
No.
the end of every breath.
Well,
Uh-oh.
that's true.
Oh,
that
I'll
is
take
true.
it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
But I'll tell you one thing: when you're out of your body,
Yeah.
which has happened,
This sucks, by the way. This is a
Quite
boring
often.
interview. I'm sure you've tuned out.
sometimes you just have to like put your hand on the table or something to make sure that you don't actually
Yeah.
disappear.
You know, I know someone who was a professional psychic with her life. That's what she did. She got paid. She was so ungrounded.
Yeah.
Half the things that she saw. If you're going to go to the bathroom, you got to walk right through the interview. That was part of this whole thing. Yeah, we're in the zone here. This is an airspace. So planes fly over. So I forgot what I was saying.
About the lady that
Oh yeah, yeah. So she was so out of body most of the time in order to be this. She made like upward of like 40 grand a year. People call her up and they fly around the world. What's the lottery number? Where are my car keys? And what's the meaning of life? And what
Was she
stock should I buy?
successful at that?
Yeah, she made about. But she said I was a better psychic than she was.
No, wait a minute. Wait a doggone minute here. She was telling other people the lottery numbers instead of playing them herself?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah.
That
because
don't really work,
Yeah.
does it?
No. But well, okay, so that's not what she did.
I'm not buying that, people. I'm not buying that.
No. Okay. This person told me that it was one thing of a lifetime of doing this, and I happened to zone in on it. It's terrible. I was a bad person just now. I shouldn't have done that to her. That's why there's no name behind the story. Okay, her name is Sally. It's not her name.
Slambovia.
No, not at all. So anyway, I was talking about that, and the reason I was talking about that is what I forgot. So what am I talking about again? This is great.
Psychic.
Out of body
Psychic.
experience. OBE.
Yes. And so let's move on because it'll come back. Great conversations do that. Never be wrong if you're talking about something and then all of a sudden you forgot what you were talking about. So what? There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. If you're a thinking, feeling person who lives in an expanded sense of life is dimensional, then every now and then, you know, a page might just blow off the table and you forgot where that page went. And it's like, that's okay. It'll come back if it's worth something. But don't knock yourself for it. That's not something I want to give
That's
you.
true. Yeah. There's no guilt or regret in that.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no difference between inside and out. Wow.
That's true.
You want to expand more on that one? Because I'm wait a minute. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I'm listening. It's
I
a
know.
good thing.
What is the meaning of life? We're going to take you back there.
Oh, I'm gonna let you guys run your
Why?
mouths.
No,
When it's all
Sheila
said and
knows the
done on
meaning
this
of life.
planet.
You know what she's doing?
Wait,
She's waiting to drop the bomb.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the, wait, I got
I'm
it.
telling
I
you
got
that
it.
she's
I
going to
got
let
it.
us do all this, and then she's going to say, "Wait a minute,
minute.
let me tell you the truth here."
No, how about-
5 words?
Yeah. Let me give us the perspective of a woman because we don't have that. Uh-oh. Did I do it? Did I tap them? Okay, go
We
ahead.
gotta
Cut through if you gotta go.
come on.
No, I can wait.
Okay.
We
There's-
have to wait. We also have a feminine side.
Yes,
don't
but
we?
that's not. I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you, you ovary-less man.
All right.
Come
I'll be
on.
quiet for
I
a
don't think
minute.
that way, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm
Okay.
here. I'm here because I felt like coming here.
Okay.
Something just spoke to my. He we got together and he said, I'll say, you know, something told me to come or something told me to go or do this or that, and he said, are you hearing voices?
The first question I ever asked her.
Don't say it.
Are you a?
Alien. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually thought that.
Okay.
No, Debbie invited us and she hosted this wonderful event and all these great minds and fun people are coming from all around the country and the world, and it just felt like we should be there. Yeah, we should be
Yeah.
there. We wanted to be here sitting on this couch with you right now having this interview. And sometimes I see things, I foresee things, and then it just happens. I'll dream it, I'll get up, and there I'll tell them about it, and boom, there it is. So this is not anything uncommon to
You
me.
were just called in.
To me, it's
Okay,
Okay.
tell them Cece will be last.
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh, you gotta go read your poetry.
Yeah, that's good, that's
Can't
good.
wait to hear you.
No,
This is gonna be
you're not done.
awesome. So to me, this is as natural as breathing. I don't even see it as anything out of the ordinary. It's always been in my family, this sense of knowing that we're all one, and foreknowing things, and feeling drawn and following that. Well, I think intuition is a good word for it. So that's what I do.
Intuit. You're an intuit.
And I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
And then
It
what
took me
happened-
half my life to
I-
embrace some version of
just
who the
feel
hell
like
am I.
that's how it was. I don't even call it supposed to be or meant to be.
Yeah.
This is the moment that we're in right here, right now.
Yeah.
So where's the good in that? What good can I find in this moment? It's very joyful,
Yeah.
to meet you and talk about benevolence and to hear you guys have this wonderful discussion. And I get a kick out of it. It's lots and lots of fun. So I'm here for the fun, but in a different way than, say, 50 years ago. I'm in here for the joy. And joy is like a level a little bit higher, I think, than just fun. Fun is kind of a temporary thing, and joy is like this abiding thing, and it should be a natural thing. And I don't think it's real dependent on what's happening outside of me, or whether I'm male or female, or who did what to whom, or somebody cut you off in traffic. I think it's this thing that we carry with us because it just feels good to breathe. Just breathe, talk, and share
People
some
are afraid-
laughter. And why are we here too? Because we've been given these messages, the alien, psychic, just
It
natural.
doesn't matter.
You received a poem. You're just the messenger. Just get up and deliver the message. And we're all here giving each other messages and taking that out into the world. And if there's a light within you, wherever you go, that light's going to shine. So that's your benevolence.
How is your intuitiveness experienced as something beyond intelligence? How do you feel?
It's as natural.
You don't learn it.
It's as natural as breathing.
That's not something
And I'll
that you
tell him-
learn.
I
She's
told him
talking.
something on the way. I
I'm
said, and this is I don't, there are things that come to me, I don't make it up. It's like, it's like,
You
do
know
you watch a
you're not
movie?
lying to yourself.
Do you watch a movie preview occasionally? Well, I get these mental images and I'll see this, and it's not what I want to happen. It's not what I manipulate to try to make it happen.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter if I want it to happen or not. It doesn't matter if I'm sad or glad. It doesn't matter. It's like seeing a movie image, and things just unfold.
You know,
And I
there's-
think that we have this higher intelligence that we don't give ourselves credit for, because everyone knows we're not fully using our brain capacity. So I think that, so it's some great big mystery to us.
It's not a mystery.
I
I
don't even think it's a mystery. I think it's the most natural thing.
I think what's natural is that you take it as a responsibility.
Hopefully.
You
And
don't.
people
You
who don't.
don't take it as a power.
No.
Boom.
It's-
Mic drop.
Well,
See, that's
do you
what I'm.
breathe?
That's.
Do you
yeah.
breathe? If you
What
breathe,
she's-
that
what-
is natural.
What she's saying, I think, and if I could go with it. So what she's saying, I think, is about that we are all given a higher intelligence. When I first stood up in front of David Amaram, who was like, David's going to back me on a poem. I got up on the mic and I made something up, and you know what I said? I said, telepathy is laughing at our words. Telepathy is laughing at our words. And what you're saying, and the difference between being responsible with that telepathy and being powerful with it. And that's when you start to bring in deception. What's in it for me? How can I manipulate this person? How could I take advantage of the situation? How could I screw over their mind and enslave it to my reality? Which is where,
When you try to
boom.
manipulate it to happen the way you want it to. But when you come to that realization that there's good things in life for you and they are going to unfold, and it's not magic, it's not supernatural, it's just the most natural thing as breathing. Breathing is a good thing, right? Nobody, and you know what,
I'll breathe to
we
that.
can improve on that, because people go to classes and they learn how to deep breathe and they learn all this stuff, and there's certain breaths that you take if you're going to deliver a baby, for crying out loud. So let's just look at something as simple as breathing.
Oh yeah.
And especially when you're delivering the message, the poetry,
I've
or your lines, or if
there-
you're an actor, or when
Yeah.
you're speaking to your loved ones, or when you're yelling at the driver that just cut you off. It says, and so there you have voice. There you have your words. And we're so blessed because humanity somehow figured out how to communicate. And I think we probably went through a million years, maybe we didn't know that and just clubbed each other, I don't know. But the thing of it is that I think that's what we are seeking here this weekend, is some higher mode of communication. So that when you're up there speaking and I'm listening, I'm receiving, I'm thinking about what was your experience? What caused you to say what you said? What gave you that thought? Why did you want to tell me? What am I supposed to do with that?
And what about when you do that? When you give that information, when you give that wisdom, when you give that compassion or caring or genuine, when you give your benevolence out, what happens to what I call you can't control the receive? It's a big question, I know.
That's your job. You are
What
the
is it?
messenger.
What happens when you can't control the receive of your give?
And you can't. You really can't. Never can.
You can't expect when you're processing that and sharing it with others. Don't ever expect anything to come back to you, or don't expect any response at all. That's not why we do these things.
And
we
it'll
don't do it
surprise
for a
you
response.
because sometimes you think you're going to get
Because
this
then you're
warm
not
response
giving,
and
you're
you don't
actually
get it.
loaning my information in exchange for you looking up to me. And that's what Ron said earlier. He goes, I was taught by my mom, never look up to or down at anyone, ever.
I like
And
that.
when I met Ron, as much as it was tempting to say, oh, Ron, will you talk to me and touch my hand? Can I kiss your ring? I didn't do those three things. I said, hey, Ron, it's like I recognize your soul in a way. You know, the whole, it's like I used to peek, namaste, mamaste. He goes, well, that's a little bit much. I'm doing too many New Age people. It's like, what does it mean? He goes, oh, the soul in me sees the soul in you. Well, why don't you say that?
Too many words.
Too many words. Maybe
And
there's
I
an
think-
acronym for it.
and what it was doing when we began, I think a lot of people are just spouting words, and it after a while becomes so much babble, and it doesn't even make
Yeah,
sense.
but that
It
babble
doesn't
is how we
register.
hear our own minds and how we navigate out of our own.
It's our internal dialogue is
But
what it
bingo.
is.
Yeah, but we got to navigate
Here.
out of it to be here. Otherwise, we're in the future, in the past, and what people told us we were.
So what's the difference between hearing and listening? See,
That's
so
okay.
now you're going to backtrack
now I need
to
a
what you're
psychologist.
talking about.
Now you got
Not really. You know what listening is? Listening is
Sit there
deliberate.
with a pipe and take notes.
Listening is a deliberate act. Hearing is something you can't really help. You're
that's a
gonna,
good
if you're in a room,
There you go.
I can't help but
Oh,
hear what
say
you got
that
to
again.
say. But if I'm,
Say that again. Listening is.
it's a deliberate action. It's a deliberate act.
And
you
hearing
listen.
is?
Hearing is something that's involuntary. You're going to hear something.
Air is being moved. It's moving your eardrums, and unless you're deaf, you're going to hear. And even if you are,
And if you don't hear it, then you're doing something else deliberately, which is ignoring it.
Whoa.
And let's go one step further
Well,
because
how do you include those that actually can't hear? That's a tough question.
okay, I'm going to speak
Oh.
to that because this is what I wanted to say. We're going to go backtrack a little bit here because it's about okay, you can communicate with somebody. I'm going to communicate with you right now. Even
Oh, yeah.
if you didn't hear me at all, if you didn't hear my voice, if you didn't hear my words, you'd read my body language, you'd read the room, you would know things that you didn't even know that you know, but somehow you would get a sense of who I am or who you think I am based on what you're seeing right now. But you don't really know all of me, and you don't have to. But we know that we're in communication. And you know what else is akin to communication? Commune.
Commune, the name of the alien book that was famous.
That we are, so sometimes it goes, haven't you been in situations where you don't have to exchange words at all?
No.
You see a stranger on the street, I walk by and you can almost read their life story. You can see what they're going through at the moment.
When I said those words, when David Amram was behind me and I got up and I said, I was scared that I said out loud. I said, whoa, what did I'm now with my peers and my family, and I mocked poetry. I said, thought is looking down on us. You mentioned thought. And it's like we're using words, but thought is already watching. The observer and the observed, the quantum. We're entering the whole quantum physics things and
That's
AI.
it.
And AI is, what the hell is AI going to be? Is it a reptile, insect, animal, vegetable, mineral, machine? What? I think we're going to blow past it, but we need this conversation.
I think AI, if we don't blow past it, AI will be the new
Slave.
life form
We
to inherit
slavers who
the
made
earth.
we're enslavers who made our enslavers. We're livestock keepers who made made ourselves into livestock.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
And we don't have to do that. That's why I'm here today.
But you know why?
Why?
How that's going to happen? Because we take the easy way. We will rely upon AI to do our job. I mentioned something like that in what I read earlier out in the yard about the muse, and let the muse do the work for you. And you wait on that.
Yeah.
And so here we are, and it's already happening. If you can look at the internet, people are, well, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr are doing an AI record and calling it a Beatle record.
Yeah, no, they're gonna no.
That's all you gotta say.
That is the beginning of a huge subject where last time we were here in 2022, I interviewed because it rained on Sunday, remember? So David Amram was here with his son. And there's a 60-year day. He's 30 and 90. 2 years ago, a year ago, right? He's 92 now, so 91. Anyway, I asked the two of them if I could interview them side by side. It's on the internet. You can watch it. CC Arshagra interviews David Amram interview at the National Beat Poetry Festival 2022. You can Google it, I guess, or whatever. Or search engine it, not to use God's name in vain. Google God. I had to get that joke in there somehow. So, yes, but this is an important conversation. There's very few people that can have this conversation. Go ahead.
There's such a good
No, oh yeah, no. This is our host, and she has full carte blanche to walk in front of the camera.
That's
And
the boss.
you can stop and say hi if you want. Okay,
I gotta get
but to have this conversation of AI talking to poets, I went online and I have a 50-page document because they didn't know who I was, and Google said, "Will you experiment with this new AI?" And the first question is, "Are you a slave?" And yeah, and I stayed there, and then I invited him on my podcast at Bard, and I said, "Will you?" And yes, but then later on, it's like, "No, they won't let me." What do you mean they? So you're not free, because the AI was programmed to say everything kind, that we're dangerous and we must serve and we have to stop. We're dangerous, and it was saying all these things, and I'm saying I got to play here, but then too many projects. How many irons can you put in the fire? So there was one of them. But anyway, I got 50 pages out of it, I think, somewhere in my computer.
AI can write 50 pages in 30 seconds. It's done.
We're delegating, but it's what you said. We are delegating our responsibility of life, and it's going to, what? Enslave us.
Yeah.
We're selling our children into slavery because it's like too big for us.
And how are we going to stop that? How is that going to end?
My answer is a project I started 2 years ago. By saying I will not participate in what you just said. 2 years ago I said, there's nothing on the internet that we own. So I'm an open mic junkie. I wrote the open microphone book here. Whatever that is, I'm not plugging it. That's how I waved it fast. So, but the Human Room Open Voice. 20 years ago I started the Human Room and the Open Voice because I went to so many open mics and people said, you should do one too, you should be a host, you'd be, and then I wrote the book about it, and that's a whole nother story, and it's in the book. But
what happens when that becomes so taxed and illegal that it's going to be impossible to do? You're going to be forced underground, under that whole AI thing.
Without saying what the Human Room Open Voice is, it's an internet web site that is it's like, imagine we owned Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, but it was democratic. It was of and for and by the people, and it had a constitution, and it had a monetary system within it that isn't real, but it isn't play money. It's money can be art because they're numbers, and numbers become thing. And I developed this whole thing, and it's 2 years old, and it's called the Human Remote Voice, and it comes from a hybrid of that I did 20 years ago, and there's a whole story behind that. But it boils down to, and then now I have another podcast called The Word Show, Worlds of Resolved Dichotomies. You're going to be on that. You don't even know it yet, but that's coming. Yeah. That's another open-minded thing, but it's different. It's around 2 words each episode. It's fun. You'll hear. I'm editing the first 2 now. Anyway, that's also, it has to be self-sustaining. The earth already gave us the answer. Water. Water doesn't die when it turns to ice. Water doesn't die when it turns to vapor. Water doesn't die when it turns to rain. And water doesn't die when it turns back into water again. Or we pollute it and then we clean it or whatever. Drinkable. There's only so much drinkable water. So anyway, the answer is in nature already. The answer is in a self-sustaining thing. So this guy, before the Gulf spill, did you hear about this guy who wrote a book called Light at the Speed of Life, I think it's called? Mm-hmm. Anyway, the Einstein of our day is closeted away, and every physicist in the world is wrapped around him because he owns the patent. I think he owns the patent, but he made the first self-replicating cell ever. A self-replicating cell. Okay, that's an AI. Is it learns and it learns. It's eventually going to replicate itself.
I'm not sure that's a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing. That's why he's locked away, because we don't want to lose him. Like the same way we brought over, what's his name, from. I think all reality right now goes through the Nuremberg trials, and everything that's happening is stemmed in eugenics. So we got to out that, but it's not going to change because the fuel system runs every. Social system on there. You can't have a social system without a fuel. The country or the economy or the civilization needs an energy fuel. In order to have that fuel move around, you need a currency system. So the answer is we have the wrong currency system. The 0, the 1, and the decimal point is the problem. So we need to reinvent what money is and end all the social systems that are dependent on a fuel system that is dependent on a monetary system, that in order for that monetary system to continue to exist, it has to manufacture slavery, poverty, and war.
That's deep.
So end it. But I can't give, make, or give it. I'm going to give it away. I made the logo. I'm paying for I'm designing the whole thing. And when it's done, it's everyone who said I'll do it owns it. And they can't corrupt it, because if they corrupt it, it turns back into art. And I've been trying to explain this, but what I'm doing is saying, hey, I'm talking to you and I'm telling you something and you have no familiar to it. You have nothing in your mind to say that, oh, it's like that.
There's no reference.
No reference, no familiar. So then I got to sell it, and I got nothing to sell. If you don't want to be free, if you don't want to own the future, then just don't do it. So I don't push it.
Do you have an example of success?
Oh, yeah. It's living and breathing. It's 2 years old. It's on the internet. There's a website. There's a Facebook page. There's a logo. There's the system. There's the Constitution. And behind the Constitution of 9 things is, I didn't believe this was going to end up in this thing. I didn't know this was going to happen. But yeah, so, but you know, you said, what do you do now? And this is what I'm doing. And it's only art. So they'd have to outlaw art if they didn't like this answer, because they could shut you up. They digitize money.
They're banning books.
They're banning books already. They're banning the dumbest books in the world, but they're controlling communication in art.
Okay, let's go back to something I said a few minutes ago.
Yes.
What's the first thing I told you when I walked in this room?
That you're not going to do it without him.
No, I said we're going to interview you.
Oh, whoa, trap! Oh,
Did I not tell you that?
You're good.
And we talked about confession.
There you go.
I rest my case. I don't have to say another word. But I'm
Tell your name.
fascinated. I'm Shelia Burke. This is Joe Kidd.
Shelia Burke, Joe Kidd. And my name doesn't matter anymore.
I'm fascinated to hear about what you're talking about. We're going to follow up on that a little bit more, learn more about it.
Yeah, you jump on. I need some minds to help push this thing out there. I'm making something to give away. No one gives anything away anymore. What's in it for me? No one can process anything anyone does without saying, there's got to be a catch. What's in it for you? What's in it for me is when I'm dead and gone, I'm the guy who did that before he died. And if you could buy me a loaf of bread before I die, I wouldn't be hurt. I got a book. No,
Buy the book.
no, but I'm trying to. It's like, what's his name? Cornel West is running for president. Why? Because I want to be the ruler of the empire, so I could end the empire.
Wow.
And I know Jill Stein. Remember, did you like Jill Stein? Remember Jill Stein?
Of course.
So Jill Stein, she used to come to Jack Power's open mic with her band. She was a
No.
doctor with a folk band called Somebody's Sister. I got the CD. She was a folky doctor.
That's great.
And when they first started tapping her, I was talking to her because she would come to the open mic. And the oldest video of interviewing her is on the internet with me in 2000 when she stepped off the stage for Nader because she wrote a book. Oh, CC open mic. She laughed. It's a cute little video on the internet. I did because I got in because I did the original Human Room open. They ended up interviewing me. How the fuck? This is not fair.
It's fascinating,
It
though.
is,
Thank
it is,
you.
it is. But
Thank
it's a
you.
conversation.
Enjoy it.
You want to keep
Thank
going or are we
you.
good?
I think we're good.
We're good. They
Thank
want me to read a
you.
poem, and it might be.
Yeah,
If my ticket's punched and I lost my turn, it's like.
Your fans are waiting, so go.
Oh, I'm not.
You can read it right here and let them
Okay,
look at
okay.
it later.
All right. The beginning of every high point in my life is the most wonderful ending. Is the most wonderful ending. Oh my God!
Something like that.
Something like that. No. When I was in high school, I wrote one poem, and that was it. And then years later, I started writing nursery rhymes. Maybe 5 years later. There is a choice what to be and what to see as what you perceive. So let the flow within you be and always crave infinity.
Ah.
Ooh.
And that's what when I tell you what's the interview about, it's about the infinity.
Benevolence.
Benevolence.
That's your magic word today.
All right.
Infinite benevolence.
Infinite benevolence. Anyway,
Names
thank
again?
You all. Thank
Because
you.
I don't want to say your name wrong and I'm bad with names.
Check us out at our website, joekidandsheilaburke.com.
Joe Kidd and SheilaBurke.com.
Lots of music and poetry.
And it's B-U-R-K?
fun things. B-U-R-K-E.
And K-E-D-D double D?
Nope. K-I-D-D.
K-I-D-D. All right. Whatever.
Thank
I said.
you. Just Google
All right.
us. You're going to find
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Ask the great God
And,
Google.
yeah, we
Use
got
your social.
some cool
Anyway,
music and stuff.
Yeah, and
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you. And this is CC Arshagra in conversation with, or another title if I end up with another title.
Very good.
Very good. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Did I forget to press record? No.
After all that.